Hello everyone, Hachadino over here. As you always know, you can like my videos if you enjoy them, and also subscribe if you're interested, in this case, in more DC content or for Raidbots and things that we will be doing in this playlist. So let's begin with this video. This one will be about the gear compare. We will also talk a little bit about fight timings and things like that, because as you know, there are different ways to do things, and gear compare, for example, is a static one. I'm here inside the game to tell you, as always in these videos, remember you have to get the Shadowcraft, or well, Simulationcraft also. I'm stuck in Pandaria, and as you know, type SimC, get the latest version. Remember, we are in a new patch, so you copy this one, and then now we will go to gear compare. So now you will have this window. Of course, you go from here and go to this one. If you want to check my already videos I did about quicksim and optimizer, you can check them. But now we will talk about gear compare. You will, as always, paste this here, and you will have the options to select different things. For example, here I selected another offhand called Nick of Time. That, as you can see here, it's better. It's 1600 better than the ones I have right now. You can also toggle the relative DPS. And as always, remember here in gear compare, we can choose different things with different chance and things like that. You can check it fast. It can be faster than Top Gear, and it also makes you get different gear sets, full gear sets, and compare them directly. In Top Gear, it does combinations, and maybe you don't really like combinations, you just want to see a specific gear set against another one because it's maybe the item that you can get. For example, if I have the Sporcle Shroud, you can see here, it was a Mythic Plus Cloak. And if we want to get the Sarkaret one, we can put that one and see how strong will it be instead, for example, because I know I can get it. If I still rated this tier, for example, we can put here Voice of Silent Star, and we can get the mythic version because we killed Sarkareth. And the enchant is whatever. I always put Lich because it also heals you, kind of good. And here it's what I talked about before. These are patchwork sims, but you can also, of course, remember, do dungeon slice. Target dummy is to get rid of all of the raid buffs, and then the other ones we don't really use them as rogues, but other classes and specs can use them. For example, I know many classes that have execute. They can get the execute patchwork to see how strong they will be in the execute window. The heavy movement, active cliff, and other things. Also, casting patchwork and cliffs are more for maybe dot classes or other things that are hard to get in slice. But at least for rogue, we usually use patchwork or slice. To remember, it's not to compare DPS, it's a gearing tool. Most of the time people are saying this seems so much more. Well, this for gear. So now you can see here Voice of the Silent Star, and for example, let's compare. This is the mythic one. Let's add another one. Let's see how would the heroic one be. It's here now for 47, and now let's check. And depending on how the queue is going and things like that, I'm not using my premium account, but it may take a little bit. Here you can see we have 23 people in the queue. And I will talk with this one, as you can see, where we already have the thing done. You can see the one that you put. Of course, remember you can put different names and things like that to be able to do many things about this. And as all things in Raidbots, you can also tweak the uptime on things. I put the blue silken lining in at 70 because that's the important thing that we will have in dance most of the time with all our healing talents and things like that. You can put it at 40 is the default. Corrupting rate is the same. I put at 85, but in some fights you can even get to 90 or even more. Now let's check this one. Have 14 people, and That's something that happens with Raidbots, but apart from that, you can also remember to use this to compare embellishments way easier, because sometimes in Top Gear you can get some issues with that. Or if you like to compare items, you can also put them in a string directly in Advanced and Top Gear, but let's not do that. This is also a way easier to check different crafted items for different stats. For example, as you can see here, I have crit and versatility. Here, versatility on my head and on my wrist, but you can change those stats around. You just need to choose, and it will be like you can see here. If I had the heroic one, I will get 700 DPS, and if I had the mythic one, I will get 1200. Almost a 1% increase. It's kind of good to know those things. And that will be all for the gear compare. I will see you in the next video.